It's true that the universe is very big, but how big? People have looked up at the stars for hundreds of years and wondered how big the universe really is. We have learned more and more as time has gone on, from the first devices to the huge Hubble. With the launch of the James Webb Space Telescope, however, the vastness of the universe is now becoming more visible. A lot of people think of the James Webb Space Telescope as the next big thing in science after the Hubble Space Telescope. When it was launched on December 25, 2021, it was a feat of modern engineering. Its orbit is 1.5 million kilometers from Earth, and its mirror is over 6.5 meters across. Webb will be able to see farther into the sky than any other telescope. Webb is more interested in infrared light than Hubble, which mostly looks at things in the visible and ultraviolet ranges. This lets it see through dust and gas clouds and find things that have never been seen before. With this skill, Webb is revealing the mysteries of the universe's earlier days and giving us a better idea of how big it really is. The James Webb Telescope has already sent back amazing pictures that are hard to believe, showing everything from faraway galaxies to places where stars are being born. Each picture is more than just a beautiful sight. It's also a piece of information that helps us understand how big the universe is. So far, what Webb has found is nothing short of amazing. Focusing on the infrared spectrum with the James Webb Telescope is more than just a technical feat. It changes the way we see the world. Because infrared light has longer bands than visible light, Webb can see through cosmic dust clouds and find parts of the universe that have been hidden. For example, star-forming areas that are covered in thick clouds of gas and dust block out most visible light. But Webb can see through these clouds and record the birth of stars and planetary systems. The information in these pictures is very important because it helps us understand how stars are formed and how new solar systems are born. In one of its first images, Webb showed that the Eagle Nebula has a star-forming area called the Pillars of Creation. The infrared pictures show a level of detail that has never been seen before. They show how the gas and dust that make up new stars are arranged in very complex ways. The James Webb Telescope made one of the most important findings about how the universe is expanding. Scientists have known for a long time that the universe is expanding, but Webb's findings give us new information about this process. Webb's observations of faraway galaxies help scientists figure out the rate of growth with a level of accuracy that has never been seen before. This changes how we think about dark energy, the mysterious force that is speeding up the growth of the universe. We know very little about dark energy, even though it makes up about 68% of the universe. It is still one of the biggest puzzles in cosmology. Webb's data is very important for helping scientists come up with new ideas and models that could explain what dark energy is and how it affects the expansion of the universe. Webb's views of faraway supernovae, exploding stars that are used as measuring sticks for the universe, are especially important in this context. Scientists can figure out how fast the universe is expanding and get a better idea of how dark energy affects things by studying the light from supernovae. The early universe, called the cosmic dawn, is also getting more light from the James Webb Telescope. The first stars and galaxies were formed during this time, which began about 200 million years after the Big Bang. Keeping an eye on this time is important for learning how the universe changed from a hot, dense state to the huge, complicated one we see now. Webb can take pictures of light from some of the earliest galaxies that have ever been made because it can see infrared light. These old galaxies look like fuzzy spots of light, their brightness changed by billions of years of the universe expanding. The study of these galaxies helps scientists figure out what the universe was like in the beginning and how the first structures were built. Webb's discovery of galaxies that were unusually big and fully grown in the early universe is one of his most important finds. There are ideas about how quickly galaxies can form and change, but these galaxies formed only a few 100 million years after the Big Bang. This has raised new questions and opened up exciting new options about how galaxies form. This huge telescope called the James Webb Telescope helps us understand how big the universe is and look for life beyond Earth. One important tool in this search is Webb's ability to study the atmospheres of exoplanets, which are planets that circle other stars. Webb can find out what chemicals are in the atmospheres of other planets by looking at the light that goes through them as the planet moves in front of its star. Transmission spectroscopy is a method that scientists use to find gases like oxygen, carbon dioxide, methane, and water vapor, which could all be signs of life. Webb's discovery of water vapor in the atmosphere of a faraway world in the habitable zone of its star is one of the most exciting things he has ever done. The habitable zone is the area around a star where it might be possible for drinkable water to exist. This makes it a great place to look for life. Even though we haven't found proof of life beyond Earth yet, Webb scans are getting us closer than ever. Researchers are looking into the atmospheres of exoplanets to find those that might have life. This is the first step towards solving the age-old question, are we alone in the universe? Some of the strangest and most interesting things in the world are black holes. Scientists have been interested in these parts of space for a long time. There is so much gravity there that not even light can escape. With the James Webb Telescope, we can now see black holes and the areas around them in ways that have never been possible before. One of the most important things Webb did was take pictures of the accretion rings of supermassive black holes. A lot of energy is given off by these disks, which are made of gas and dust swirling into the black hole. Webb is looking at these disks to help scientists learn more about how black holes grow and how they affect the galaxies around them. Also, Webb studies are showing how black holes and their surroundings interact in very complex ways. Webb has caught jets of very high-energy particles being thrown out of black holes at almost the speed of light. These jets can have a big effect on the galaxies around them, controlling how stars form and changing the shape of the universe. As we keep using the James Webb Telescope to look into the universe, we learn more about how it is put together on a larger scale. The universe is not just a bunch of galaxies and stars thrown together at random. Instead, it is organized into a huge cosmic web with dark matter threads linking galaxies and clusters together. Scientists can now make a more detailed map of this cosmic web thanks to Webb's findings. Webb's study of how galaxies are spread out in dark matter gives us new information about how the structure of the universe formed and changed over billions of years. Webb has found huge groups of galaxies, some of which are billions of light-years away. This is one of the most amazing things it has found. With thousands of galaxies inside, these clusters are some of the biggest objects in the universe. Scientists are using Webb's data to learn more about how these groups form and how they affect the web of space around them. The things that the James Webb Telescope has found are just the start. As Webb's mission goes on, it will definitely find more secrets and give us new information about how big the universe really is. Webb will work on a number of different science projects over the next few years, such as mapping the distribution of dark matter and studying the atmospheres of exoplanets. Webb will also work with other observatories and telescopes, like the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope that is coming soon, to get a fuller picture of the world. When we think about the future, it's clear that the James Webb Telescope will be very important in how we understand the universe. Its findings will not only help us understand the world better, but they will also encourage scientists, astronomers, and explorers of the future. To sum up, the James Webb Space Telescope is changing the way we think about the world. Webb has shown us an amazing number of galaxies and helped us figure out what dark matter is. He is a great example of how curious and creative people can be. When we look into space, we remember that the world is much bigger, more complicated, and more beautiful than we thought. Stay tuned as the James Webb Space Telescope continues to show us the wonders of space. This will show us that we are only just starting to understand how big the universe really is.